Good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for tuning in. John Kelly, Profiler here, and welcome. Welcome to our new series, Who Killed Libby German and Who Killed Abigail Williams? Today, I'm all apologies. I want to apologize for my miscues and misquotes in our last video. In our last video, I said that the girls were killed approximately 18 months ago. I was totally wrong. Totally wrong. The girls were killed almost 2 years. It's almost 2-year anniversary that we're coming up on. So we're talking like 23 months ago, coming up on the 2-year anniversary of their death. I can't believe it's that long personally. I also mentioned an October month, and I was wrong there. It's February. They were murdered February 13th, and they were found February 14th of 2017. So please accept my apologies. Other than that, we want to find out who killed these girls. And today we're focusing on the usual suspects. They always pop up, as I mentioned in the last video. These usual suspects always pop up. And today we have a very interesting person of interest. Today we're looking at one guy in particular, a guy by the name of Thomas Bruce. I'm sure you're all familiar with him, any of you that have been following this case. And when we look at Mr. Bruce, we see Mr. Bruce entering in a Catholic supply store in St. Louis, Missouri, and taking 2 women hostage and having them do sexual acts on him in broad daylight in the store. And a third woman entered the store who didn't work there but was a customer. He wanted her to participate in what they were doing sexually. She refused. He shot her in the head and he killed her. Now, the reason this person is of particular interest to me is because of the various similarities. I mean, we're looking at the sketch and clothing that really jump out. I mean, the sketch in particular jumps out on me, although it doesn't grab me as much as the clothing does. The clothing has been in the various newspapers and on various media, and the clothing looks similar to the bridge guy. However, looks can be deceiving too. We don't know for sure. We can't say for sure. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. But this guy's got some definite similarities that are just jumping out at me and grabbing me. And one of them is the broad daylight thing. This guy acted out in broad daylight in the Catholic supply store. The bridge guy looks like he acted out in broad daylight. This is a very brazen kind of personality. And we're going to get to how brazen Thomas Bruce is a little bit later in this video. We also talked about a weapon possibly controlling Libby and Abby. Because it's one thing to say to 2 girls, go down the hill. It's another thing to say to the girls, with the weapon, go down the hill. So it's go down the hill, go down the hill. Down the hill, down the hill. Weapon makes all the difference. And there's a lot of people out there that believe they could tell that bridge guy was carrying a weapon. We know Thomas Bruce had a weapon. Thomas Bruce had a weapon in that Catholic supply store and he killed one of the women. Now, when you talk about brazen, we also have to take into consideration what Thomas Bruce did. He left 2 witnesses. He turned around and sexually abused these 2 women that he held hostage. He shot this other woman in the head, her face, and killed her. And then he leaves the 2 women that he sexually abused as witnesses and leaves. He doesn't kill them. That's pretty brazen. He doesn't try to clean up anything. He doesn't try to get rid of any evidence. He just leaves. What did bridge guy do? Bridge guy was similar. Based on what we know, there's no taking of a cell phone, no taking of anything else. And he left. So this is a little similar as far as I'm concerned. What really gets to me is, he owned a gun. Thomas Bruce owned a gun. And we believe Bridge Guy had some kind of weapon to get Libby and Abby under his control. The other thing is that Thomas Bruce has been transient for a number of years. He's traveled, he's worked in different places, he's gotten around the country, around the state. And we don't have a whole lot of information on that yet, but it's very interesting and important to know where this guy's been. Because we have another woman, 77-year-old woman, who has just pressed charges against him, and he's alleged to have sexually attacked and abused her as well. A woman who's 77 years old in Jefferson County, Missouri. So this guy definitely seems to be a sexual predator. Like I said again, everybody's innocent until proven guilty. The other concern I have is that this guy seems to be a control freak. And what I'd like you to do, if you have the time, is we're going to post a video where he was pulled over for a traffic accident and where he has a confrontation with a state policeman. And I think you'll find this very, very interesting. And again, I'm underlining the word brazen, to way this guy, Thomas Bruce, acts with this state policeman that pulled him over. Now keep in mind, this state policeman wants to do a field sobriety test on Thomas Bruce. What's very interesting to me, after being around these types of sexual predators and hunting them over the years, and all the research I've done on them, is how Thomas Bruce handles this state trooper. I mean, he manipulates this young state trooper like you wouldn't believe. The state trooper tells him he smells like he's been drinking. Thomas Bruce says, yeah, I only have one beer. Well, Thomas Bruce knows he's got alcohol in his breath, so of course he says, oh, I only have one beer. I didn't have more than that. State trooper says he wants to conduct a field sobriety test. Thomas Bruce says, no way. Now, supposedly he was flying in and out of traffic like a crazy man. In fact, there's a witness who refused to even give his name because he said the guy looked so crazy. So anyway, he turns around and he tells the state trooper, look it, this guy hit me in the back. You need to do a field sobriety test on him. State trooper says, well, I talked to him already. I don't believe he was drinking, but I do believe you were drinking. Oh, I might have had one beer, but that's it. And then you can watch the manipulation from there and watch the wind-up of the interview that this young state trooper has with this Thomas Bruce over this field sobriety test. I think you're going to find it very interesting, and you're going to see just how devious and manipulating this Thomas Bruce is. Some people believe that Thomas Bruce's voice is the same or similar to Bridge Guy. I'm not there yet. I leave it up to you. I'd like to hear from you on this. Again, we're sorry, I'm sorry for the miscues in the last video. Let us know what you think. We always appreciate your comments. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your views and subscriptions. Have a wonderful day and stay safe out there.